I started sailing when I was 5 years old. I started in Vienna on the old Danube, which is an old branch of the River Danube, which is going through Vienna, and was a nice place to start with. Vienna is a pretty strong wind area, and I capsized, I think, on my first day out, but I still liked it, and then I continued until now. I started with Pirate, which is a national class in Austria and Germany. Basically, this boat was designed in 1936 as a youth class, and it's pretty common still in Austria. It's a nice boat. And then I tried several other classes and ended up, after a couple of changes, in the Olympic class Star. And there was a member of the Austrian national team from 1990 until 1996, 97. After my professional star sailing campaign, where I was sailing internationally in world championships, etc., I made a lot of contact with other professional sailors, and it came that I met Jochen Schumann, who was a national hero in Germany and who was running the aerosail team. And they sold off some of their boats, and I purchased one of the offshore boats. And so I came to offshore sailing, and when you start offshore sailing, inevitably after a while you need to become professional, and then I was lucky to find some sponsors, and I became better and better, and we started to have a professional team with new boats, and the whole thing ended up in our own TP52 campaign, where we competed at the Med Cup between 2005 and 2008. The biggest success was winning the Middle Sea race in 1999. That Middle Sea race is a 600-mile classic offshore race, starting from Malta, around Sicily and back to Malta, Valletta. And at that time it was probably one of the biggest successes for Austrian offshore sailor, and I think until now still no Austrian sailor has been successful in winning a classic offshore like that. We were also quite successful in the TP52 and in the IMS class, when we were finishing 6th in the IMS Worlds in Valencia, in our class, etc. But really winning that Middle Sea race stands out. You have to love sailing, and you have to love boats, and even so there's the common saying that you should never fall in love with your boat, otherwise you're not sailing it fast enough. As we are sitting now on a classic yacht, this is something you'd only do if you really love her, and then you're willing to spend the money to restore her. And so I think the love for the sea, for the water, for the wind, being out, and also the whole community, sailing community, has to be in place, otherwise you're not successful. I think best thing is go to a local sailing school or yacht club, introduce yourself and say you want to learn it.
So there's no barriers there?
In reality, there's no barriers. Sometimes if there are barriers and you have the feeling that there are barriers, then you're in the wrong place.
All right.
So then but this is then the problem of the local fleet or the local community, and they will die out, because I think sailing really lives from being open, and you have to be open to newcomers and help them to absorb themselves in the sport, otherwise they will not like it. Very hard to answer. The most asked question is why I'm so fascinated from sailing, and in reality I can't answer it, because it's everything, and it's the whole package that I'm fascinated. I've been working as a consultant for Teufelberger since I started professional offshore sailing, and I helped them to develop some ropes, and so I had contact with them, and when they were finally looking for somebody who was leading the whole operation for the marine industry, they asked me, and I was lucky to convince them that I could probably do it. For this year I'm competing in the Rolex Swan Cup in Porto, and that's always one of the top events of the year. And for the near future I want to get the old lady going, and we are still this is work in progress obviously, and we are getting new sails, and we have already a nice rigging package, as you can see. We're working to get her going, and then I want to compete in some local races.